Welcome back to the Whaley Podcast. We're on episode 5. Welcome, Seamus. Welcome, Jaden.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And welcome to me.
Welcome.
Welcome, Sean.
I don't feel welcome. Do you know what we're doing for today?
You said you're just going to have some questions and then throw it at us. So I'm expecting anything today.
We have got a... I just clicked in my mic and Jaden gave me the look. I got it.
Good.
We have got a little challenge that 2 weeks ago we issued to each other. And do you want to explain what the challenge is, Jay?
Yeah, did you not watch the episode?
Nope.
Yeah.
Let's welcome the Whaleys to the Whaley Podcast.
Please click that bell.
So the challenge Sean said last time that we did it, because it was Esther and Charlotte last time. The challenge was Super 8 challenge. So you have to make a film continuously without changing anything in editing or post. No audio editing, no trimming, nothing.
How long's the film?
Long as you want.
Yeah, it's an intro, so I think the convention's somewhere around a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, and it has to be sequential. So if you filmed clip 1, 2, 3, and 4 sucked, you can't get rid of 4.
Oh, dear.
So it needs to be back-to-back shots, unedited.
First time.
You can have re-goes, but if you mess up a shot, you basically restarting from the beginning.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can do a redo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've both made those, and I think we're going to play them
Yes,
and let Seamus see them, right?
yes. So
Am I coming on like a judge and I get to say, oh, I like that, I don't like that? Because I'm the only...
we are judging your judgment.
Okay, no problem.
I don't think you should be biased.
You two are definitely biased, so I'm the only unbiased one.
When you said, I don't think you should be biased, that made me think, what have you done before? Now.
Seamus and I did a workout last night, and I upped the weights and didn't tell him, and then he picked them up and hurt his back.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew what I was doing. I just pushed it too far last night.
So I just don't want that to affect.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think you should be biased. I think you should go with how your back feels. And
My back does not like this video.
we're going to give a little context of how we got my shot done.
You just want to tell everyone that you basically used me, right?
So on 2 days ago, whenever it was that we shot it, I was talking through my shot list with Jaden, and I was saying, oh, we could do this, we could do that. And he starts to get a pen and paper out, and we start to brainstorm, because we're also discussing what's the rule set and how do people really do this. And so I said, well, let's just get the camera out and start it. And so we started together. We oscillated on shots, so he would do one, I would do the other. We spent an hour and a half, 2 hours,
2
doing
hours,
a
yeah.
minute's worth of recording. But we both spent time on it. And then afterwards, like, well, great, thanks for helping me with my Super 8 challenge.
Yeah.
And then you stayed up to 3 o'clock last night doing your own.
Yeah, so we did that earlier on in the week, and then push came to shove. Like, I've been super busy this week, so I had last night. So we worked out. We finished at 10, and then I came up and filmed till 3 in the morning. So
Wow.
I spent about 4 or 5 hours.
Wow.
You'll see that mine was a little bit
How
more.
long is your video?
Mine's a minute.
Wow. Okay.
Plus the 2 hours you spent on mine. So
Yeah,
That
I
was
did
great.
a lot of Super 8 this week.
Before we watch it, can we come up with some? Are we just judging it just on first impressions, or do you have some categories? Framing, lighting, sound. Is it just first impressions?
whatever criteria you believe are
Okay.
important.
All
There
right.
are a few little notable moments that I'd like to talk about.
I don't think acting is one of the criteria. I think it's like variation of shot type is what I would go for.
Well, you can't decide the criteria.
I'm
He's got to decide
I'm
them.
just saying what I would choose would be variation of shot type. Like
The emotion you feel in your back when you're watching that is the main important.
how artistic it is.
Okay.
And audio, I think, is one of the most important things about audio visual,
I
right?
see.
It's
I
half of
see.
it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'll just
I
go
think
my impressions. What I like, what I don't like.
Super
Alright.
8s didn't have audio. I think we should just mute it when we play it back.
You decide.
Okay.
Did Super 8s have audio? I think so. It was clack, 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 clack.
I think it filmed at 16 FPS, so the audio would be really weird if it did have it.
Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah.
What's the whole point of this? Is it to get better at what you're doing?
Retrospectively, or what we thought the point was before we did it.
Both.
So the way Philip Bloom says it is that he was editing his own footage and thought, like, who the hell filmed this? This sucks. So then he learned how to edit, and through that he learned how to shoot. So his kind of notion was get better at shooting on the day, get really good footage so it's easy to edit. I think that was our mindset going into it.
It's applying a constraint
Yeah.
so that you could get better at the thing that you're focusing on.
Yeah.
Because these days you've got such fancy camera, you can reframe and not lose quality, and you can record for hours. Whereas the whole Super 8 thing was you point and shoot, and whatever you pull the trigger on,
That's it.
that's what comes out.
Yeah.
It's in the final. It's baked in. There's no cutting that out.
You don't rewrite film. Film is, that's it. It's you either use it or you throw it away.
So yeah, we can talk retrospectively, maybe after we watch them, what we actually learned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed the planning of it, but the execution was very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like writing an essay with your left hand.
Yeah.
It you know what you want to do, but you can't do it because there's this weird constraint that it's self-inflicted.
Yeah. And I furthered my constraints a lot.
Stupidly,
You'll
I would
see
say.
when we watch it, like, it's quite hard for me to film at the same time as being in it.
Oh, you're acting too.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it after. Let's watch them
So we watch
first.
them. So
Yeah.
we watch
Forward
mine
to this.
first because you've seen mine. I
Yeah.
haven't seen yours.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't just see mine. You recorded mine.
Yeah. Oh, so you started with image. That's interesting.
So this is Sean's.
So you didn't start in the dark and then there's no fade in. Sorry, I didn't want to influence what you were saying.
Yeah, sure.
Objection, Your Honor. Leading the witness. Let me just turn up the volume. Beautiful.
Are you actually making this coffee, Sean?
Oh, we oscillated.
Okay.
I'll talk about the shots Jaden was in.
Oh, I don't like that.
Oh, it's uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yeah. Why there's just a quick puff of air?
It's almost like it's in slow motion.
Guest appearance by Charlotte.
Nice touch.
It's a good shot, right?
Yeah, very good
I
shot.
wonder who took that one.
Good
It's a
job.
great sequence. So a few notes. That weird, horrible, elongated sound. We did a slow motion shot, and that's the one. Well, we broke two rules. I filmed that at 120 frames a second, so I filmed it in slow mo, and so all I did was stretch that out. So that's why the sound is weird,
Yeah.
because it should have been a and it was.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, one of the shots, we were grinding the coffee beans, and we forgot to turn. Well, I forgot to turn the thing on.
Mm.
And so the shot was framed, it was beautiful, but when we put the clicker in to grind the beans, it didn't work. So those are the two rules I broke. I elongated one shot and I deleted.
one shot.
Yeah.
Should have just left it as it was. That's the whole point. Just to laugh at your mistake.
Oh, we've got enough mistakes in
Okay.
there to laugh.
Yeah.
All right. That slow-mo of the steam could have been that.
So I re-edited the sequence and regraded it and did some fancier stuff, and it looks significantly better. Tighter shots, less time on them. The pour looks continuous.
Better audio.
Took out some of the fumbles, and
You also, when you did the first pouring of the milk, you had one angle and then you changed the angle. You should have had just one continuous shot of it being filled up.
agreed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't judge me on that. I would judge Jaden.
I would judge milk on that. I think milk's the culprit. Because we got it frothy, and then by the time we actually pressed record, it lost all its froth.
It was terrible.
Okay.
So that's why we changed But this last shot, which I framed up, I think is actually really nice.
That's a nice ending.
Yeah.
That's a good ending.
And
Good
Charlotte
lighting.
idea to sprinkle the chocolate on.
Yeah,
it.
it's a
Little
good.
touch.
We were
touch.
running out of light, so we rushed the last couple shots, but actually they turned out well.
That's all natural light.
Yeah.
Yep,
So this
all
is
natural.
in 3 Thai Kitchen.
So-
So that window.
Explain to me what's the benefit of natural light opposed to artificial light.
It's free.
You don't need to know anything to use natural light. To use artificial light, you do need some sort of knowledge
Okay.
of lighting styles, right?
Okay.
Natural, it's another constraint, really.
Yeah.
But it worked in our favor for this. But we had to rush it. Like Sean was saying, the sun was going down for the last 4 shots. We're probably done.
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is quick because the whole shoot took us an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of those shots took us 20, 25 minutes. Because the thing is, you're framing it up, you're getting what looks good, and then you're running through, okay, you move this count, 1, 2, 3. There's a slight delay on the camera. When you press record, it's like about half a second.
I can
Which
tell
is
you
gonna come
exactly
into-
what it is.
It's going to come into play for his video. So you count down, and then you play with the actions to get the beat right, because you don't want to be recording for 15 seconds on a shot you can't trim down. This is the funniest moment of the whole thing. The shot where we are tampering,
Should we go
stuffing
back
the
to-
beans down,
Yeah.
is so funny because we practiced and practiced and practiced. And Jaden had the tamper in his left hand, and obviously he's right-handed. And so we practiced, and then the shot that we're recording, he missed it.
Should we watch it?
Let's watch it again. That's my favorite bit of the whole thing.
That's so stupid.
So in my edit, I cut out the first
Yeah.
the miss tamper.
Because the second one,
It's great.
Yeah. We saw it.
look at that.
So that was very enjoyable for me. But so what I learned from that shoot is, number one, the idea of making a cup of coffee, something as simple as that.
Yeah.
You got to think through the steps. You got to think through the angles. You can't just shoot from any old angle you want because it confuses the viewer. So there's something in filming that's called the 180-degree rule. You never oscillate beyond that semicircle
Oh, that's good.
because it confuses people. And so we were trying to play with that. And then some of the framing of the shots wasn't great. And once we filmed it, we realized how bad it was. But you filmed it now, so you have to stick with it.
Yeah.
And then how long it takes to put effort into something as simple as this. What's this, a minute? It's tough. It's really, really tough. I didn't enjoy this process that much. Like if you said to me, let's do one next week, I'm not licking my lips. I'm like, oh, that's painful.
I actually enjoyed this one more.
Did you?
Than yours.
Well, you bit off more than you can chew. That's what my complaint to you was.
This for me was like playing. You practice, and then
Yeah.
you get the shot. It's low stakes because it's just for us. I enjoyed this.
Just to be clear, this is your first do, right? You didn't do a redo.
This is the first sequence,
Okay.
and I've never done a Super 8 before.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever do another one, but
But was
This
it
is the-
beneficial in the end?
I learned loads. But what I was saying to Jaden yesterday is I learned loads because I was doing something in that world. It wasn't because of these constraints.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
if I was better at just general filming, I could implement these constraints to up my game.
Yeah.
But at the noob level that I'm at,
I think
I didn't
Sean,
need these
yeah,
constraints.
he would have learned just as much from doing
Yeah, I know.
the edited version of this because
Yeah.
it was just getting those shots and thinking about angles and close-ups and creating context within a sequence. Like we missed a few shots that would have made more sense, like a walk from the coffee machine over to the table. It's like, how did we get there and why is Charlotte there? There's so many things that we could have filled in with some context.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of focusing on the close-up details.
There's a YouTuber I watch who does Instagram ads and YouTube ads and that sort of stuff, and he works for restaurants and things. And he will take a shot and he'll just do it over and over again. But he does a lot of camera movement, so he'll rotate the camera or shift it down. And I've learned in that sort of context, you just do it over and over again, and then you tweak and choose ones that work. We couldn't do that with the Super 8 challenge. We had to lock everything off and make sure it was static. It's very tough to get that right first time.
Don't you think because you're also editing all the footage you're producing that also encourages you to get it better? You don't need the constraints.
That was the birthplace for Bloom.
Yeah.
That's where he upped his filming game because of the editing.
Yeah.
Because back in his day, there used to be, it was always separate. Your camera operators and your editors were different people. People didn't do it all themselves. I think he was in, Sky News, BBC, that kind of stuff. So it's from a different world.
Should we watch yours?
Let's do it.
I'm looking forward to this. You've spoken a big game.
Have you seen this, Sean?
No, first time. I didn't want to watch it until
Well, you said he's bit off more than you can chew, so you knew the idea.
That was my criticism, because I knew the concept of what Jaden wanted to do.
Okay.
And I think it's incredibly difficult. Mathematically minded that I am, I was like, you can't get the timing on this right. Do you want to set up your idea before you show people, or do you just want to show people?
No, I just want the art to live.
Don't want to define it, man.
Can we just note the first frame is
Black.
Oh, is it broken?
It's black.
Oh.
So I didn't just start with a newbie
Yeah.
frame. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your back feeling, Shay?
Ooh. Look at that poker.
That's beautiful bokeh.
Oh, it's a story. You can tell.
Who's that guy? He looks good.
He looks despondent. Oh, I like that. No sound yet.
No sound.
Oh, nice element.
Metronome.
That's good.
Wow, you got it. Backlight. Scene counting.
So you're adding your own skill to this. The content itself is more interesting.
Nice pan. Right on the ass.
Boom.
Beginning of a
Wow.
podcast. All right.
Wow.
So I went more for a literal intro to the podcast. Kind of behind the scenes, like I was writing the song for the podcast to start, and then we set up. So if I could edit, I'd have Whaley Pod. I'd have Sean in this frame too.
Oh, wow.
So you can see my constraints. I had to be in a lot of it because I didn't have another musician around to play those parts.
Yeah.
I wrote that about 5 minutes before I filmed it. So I wrote the chords on the piano and then set up the shot to film it.
Wow.
Then I wrote the guitar parts to layer over that, and then I filmed it. So everything in that is, as soon as we hit record, that's the first full time I've played through that idea.
Very impressive. How did you get your fingers on the guitar at the same time as the film started? I don't get that.
Great question. So every shot that I was in, I set up prior, and then I had Charlotte press record.
Oh, okay.
Now, Sean was saying about how there's a slight delay at the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
So I timed out that delay to the second, to the quarter second.
Oh, wow.
So that metronome I had, you'll see in some of the guitar shots, I say stop. That's a cue for Charlotte to stop. Because I timed out, it's exactly between beat 3 and beat 4. The thing needs to stop.
Charlotte must have been super nervous getting
I made
that
her
timing.
cry
Yeah.
almost twice, definitely once.
Yep. I can understand that pressure.
Yeah. So we failed once.
That's the redo, right? You had to do
We
it
did
again.
a practice one, we failed, and then we redid and did the last one as all of that. And you can tell at the end it comes in a bit late, but that's fine. So for me, the thing I hate the most about that is the timing and then the color of it.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
So there's no natural light in here.
Yeah.
It's all artificial. And you can see on the curtains there, they're basically black. The sofa's super dark. But I think given that there's no natural light in here, we did this last shot was at 256. I think it's decent.
What I like about it is there's a contrast. Like Sean was going, oh, he didn't have sound yet. That contrast of absolute quietness, like, oh, this is a bit newbie. And then you make the sound, it like fills in the content. But then you've also got this contrast between light and darkness. Because it's like, as soon as you turn on the machine, the LEDs, it's a good contrast.
Thank you.
It's good.
Yeah.
Well done, Charlotte.
Yeah, well done, Charlotte.
No, I like the opening. The fact that you use the. What did you use? The lid?
For what?
The very first shot to open
The
shot.
bokeh. So I got these fairy lights on a remote, same as these. So then I framed up, I turned off the lights, I turn on the lights as I press record, turn on the lights. So you get a black frame into white. And then you see the bokeh kind of.
Okay.
It sets a sort of more artistic tone, because that wouldn't make sense if it wasn't artistic.
Yeah.
It's just ugly.
But you were using the environment to overcome the constraint of the fact that you couldn't do a digital edit of a fade in.
Yeah.
Which was clever.
Very good.
And I think also the fact that the sound started when you put the earphones on, I think it was a clever touch. It was good.
Thank
I'm
you.
surprised at how well you got the timing, because I thought that was going to be impossible.
There's a
I can
couple,
can see a few little things, but
There's a couple mistakes. So that's what I spent the day doing, was trying to work out, when you were still here, I was trying to work out what those recording delays are exactly to the beat. So the music was very restricted, 120 BPM, holding the last chord so that if there was a slight mishap, it wouldn't be that noticeable. And if you put it on a grid, there's a lot of mistakes there. But there's only like 2 perceivable ones that I think you guys would pick up on.
no, I picked up about 6 or 7. No, I'm very impressed, Joe. I didn't think you'd be able to get it done, because you had a compounded constraint.
Yeah.
You didn't just have clips to put in order. You had to tie the music in, which is
Which I think wouldn't have been that tough if I had a musician that I was filming.
right.
But the fact that I had to be the musician sucked.
So you played a track in the background.
Everything you hear in that is as it's recorded for the first time. So you hear the metronome on the first one because I needed the metronome. Then I play the piano to it. I'm actually playing that. The next shot of me playing the bass, we don't need the metronome because we got the piano. So I cue it up. On the third beat of the intro, I get Charlotte to record. 1, 2, 3, 4. I play the bass. And between those two things happening, I've set up a new angle shot with Charlotte holding the bass. I've got the focus correct. And then the shots with movement, we drilled me walking over here about 30 times.
And Charlotte's just crying the whole time.
Charlotte cried after she accidentally recorded too long. And then she said, "I'm so sorry, I recorded too long." And I just sat there for about a minute and didn't say anything. I just looked at her. And I was thinking, I was thinking a lot of things.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I was just, I mean, this is about 1 a.m.
So you had to reset your whole sequence.
This is the last 2 hours of filming is just wasted. So we reset the whole thing. I was so sad. But
wow.
Then you get perspective, and it's like a stupid minute-long thing that's never going to look that good anyway.
It's all content, baby.
But so she did a really good job. After we drilled that shot, I think she got it really well. She does zoom in on my ass a bit.
So
Practice makes perfect.
So Shay,
It's a tough choice, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's
do you
not really a
prefer
contest.
coffee or tunes?
I think it would have been more interesting if you put the constraints on time too. So you only had a certain amount of time to do it,
Why?
because then you've only got an hour to produce this clip.
Neither of us would have got it done.
I think that would have been interesting, just to see.
It would have been
But-
interesting.
But because Jaden, I think you just you put a lot more effort in. I
To
think
which one? Sorry.
to the second one.
Oh,
No, you put more effort in the first one too.
I think I like that you played with different dynamics, the sound and the lighting, a lot more. Yours is simple, Sean, but it's nice. It's just simple, whereas Jaden's a lot more complicated, a lot more arty.
Where's Charlotte when we need someone to cry? No, I think yours. I think I would agree. Yours is the
Yeah.
winner.
Yeah, I think I'd agree.
I think the compounded constraint
But
was
you-
great,
you
and I
c-
think it lends itself to an intro for a podcast
Yeah,
better.
yeah,
Because I had an idea for the intro for the podcast, which would be camera setups, and you'd have tight shots of mic stands being placed and that sort of stuff. But it doesn't really mean much to an audience. It might mean something to us.
That's right.
Whereas what you're doing is, it's got a little bit of a technical aspect, but it is a warm up, and then it shows you contextually how we got to the spot,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a bit of a narrative there.
which we spoke about.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were going to maybe zoom into the cup of coffee in the ending of our Super 8. So when we started this podcast, you'd zoom out from the coffee and we're sitting in the room.
Sorry, I just completely. That's an intro to the podcast. What you guys did, both of them.
It was just an idea.
Okay, I didn't know that yours was an intro.
so who wins now?
His was very clear that was an intro.
Yeah,
I thought yours was just a project. That was going to be an intro. That's
Charlie?
not. That's okay. Well, thank the Lord we moved on from Super 8.
yeah.
So would you do another one?
I would do that again, but not Super 8.
I'm talking about Super 8. You wouldn't put that constraint on yourself again.
Not for a while. When we do any of our challenges, I don't think I would do them again for at least a year.
Because they're purposefully difficult.
Yeah. I feel like I got through that ordeal, and now I can let it sit for, yeah, I'd say maybe in another year, I'd be keen to do another one. Or if there was a great idea I had, then I'd be keen to do another one.
Mm.
Would you try?
I'm like far behind in terms of technicalities. I could use my phone, I guess. I got some better content, I think, at home.
Well, I think
For Judah.
the advantage you got over Jaden is personality.
That's everybody.
I've been saying to you for a long time, we both have, in different contexts and different ideas, that you need to be on social media, you need to be on Instagram or YouTube or something.
Yeah, not behind the camera, in front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. More photogenic, more humorous.
People need humor these days. To just look at you would be a funny
I know.
thing, Shay.
I know.
Make them feel better about their situation.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
At least I'm not like Seamus.
Could be worse.
But I think you and Judah would be awesome on a
On an
a
anything
YouTube or a reaction or a story time or...
Big Brother style TV show.
Hey, have you guys watched Love on the Spectrum?
No.
Talking about interesting content. You guys should watch Love on the Spectrum.
I haven't seen it.
It's on Netflix. It's about autism and people looking for love who are autistic.
Okay.
And I tell you what, we watched it last night, Esther and I couldn't stop laughing. And my back is aching, but there's just one character, Michael. You guys got to watch it. It's so good.
Michael.
Michael. It's amazing. Autistic people looking for love.
Are you allowed to laugh at that?
No, his parents are laughing.
Are we venturing into territory?
No, we're
that's-
not laughing at autism. We're laughing at how you know how as humans we just got all this build-up of, we're smiling now, but we're not really, we're feeling anxiety.
That's called
on it.
marriage, right?
That's the whole of marriage right there. But it's just incredible. You're talking about content. I'd love to do stuff like that, where, yeah, it's just, I don't know, something that came to my head.
Maybe the next podcast we should do a react to Michael.
Yeah.
Don't watch it. We should do a reaction on this guy
Let's do it.
doing dates. It's hilarious. The funniest thing I've seen in the last 2 years. Amazing.
Cool.
Let's do it.
I'm down for that.
Reaction videos.
Okay.
Yeah. And this challenge thing, I like this challenge thing. I think we can make this a regular occurrence.
Well, we've been doing challenges for the last couple of years, right? Trying to make 100,000 or increase your income by 100,000.
There's a
or weight
different
loss.
level when you know people are going to be tracking with your success and failure. This is not just our own, pride. This is global pride. Like, people are going to go and comment on it.
Mm.
I like that.
It's not I don't see it as a different level for me. Knowing that you're going to know my result is enough.
Yeah, that's
For
enough
me,
of a
Like, I would
That's
care
different
less
for me.
about other people than what you guys knew.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would hurt more to be beaten by a brother than anyone else.
Yeah.
We did a press up challenge where we had to do 100 press ups in 4 minutes. Bearing in mind, none of us were fit. I think you were slightly fit, but I don't think you were strong.
No.
And so we did that challenge. Were you involved? You said you'd be involved and then chickened
That's
out
right.
or something.
That's right.
It's a theme of a lot of our challenges.
Yeah. Talk's a big game. And so we said we'd do 100 in 4 minutes, and the penalty was if for every press up you couldn't do towards the 100, you'd have to do 4 hours of a fast, like no eating. And you hit the 100, or you hit 98
I
or
hit
something?
98.
And I hit something like 60. I couldn't get there. I injured my shoulder right in the beginning, a bit of more than I could chew. And so I had to fast for 7 days. And I made sure I hit that fast because I never wanted Jaden to
Wow.
to have a go at, you chickened out. And
He's
you-
always got a card in his pocket
Yeah.
if you do that. Yeah.
So I fasted 7 days. Didn't do the press-ups even though I had the pain.
Yeah.
But it was because I had to do it.
That was a crazy fast, eh?
Yeah.
You had to come back in on like chicken broth or something a day after.
That hurt me, eh?
Yeah.
Because I've had a little bit of, I think, watermelon or something very soft, and I felt fine. It tasted so good. You fast any amount of days, like even if you did a 2-day fast, you eat food again, it is delicious. But 7 days, it's golden, absolute golden. Like everything tingles with the slightest bit of flavor. And then I felt fine, so I had a bit of chicken broth, and then I had something else, and I was in such pain.
Trying to digest it, yeah.
I actually started to drive because I was hunching over. I drove to the shops to go and get some paracetamol or something. I was in so much pain. And by the time I got to the shops, it was all fine. I didn't get anything. But I was like, this is dangerous, like really dangerous. And I was conservative and I thought I was being safe.
Why do you miss our challenges? Like, why don't you get involved?
Well, what happened when you did we were doing a weight loss
Yeah,
challenge?
I was an idiot. I like dehydrated myself for the last 4 days, and I got in like hot baths and didn't drink water, and then ended up fainting a couple.
That's
times.
why. That's why I
And
did it.
fainting in public.
Yeah, I got a present for Keith. It was this really heavy. What's that machine called that I bought him?
Lathe.
Lathe. It was a super heavy lathe, and as I got out the taxi and picked it up, my legs just went from under me, and then I was on the ground, and then I had to stay there for a while. But who
That's
won
like-
that challenge?
I won that challenge.
No,
No, you didn't.
the weight loss. I beat you by.
You said you could have won that challenge,
Yeah.
remember? If I just did this, if I just did the...
Yes, because we didn't know each other's weights.
Yeah.
But if I did carry on, I would have beaten you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you?
But I didn't.
No, you didn't.
There's the card.
So I think that was what, roughly 20 kgs?
I lost 22 kgs.
Yeah. So I
in
must have lost.
No, in that whole year. But the last 13 weeks, I lost 13 kgs.
Wow.
But you lost
Must have
9,
been
10 in 13 weeks. You didn't have much to lose. You were trying to get a six-pack.
Yeah, you were skin and bones. You
No,
were
the first
pretty
weight
frail.
loss thing, I lost 23.
You lost 23 kgs.
Yeah. I went down from 88 to 60,
Wow, you're
65 point
kgs?
something.
Wow. What are you now?
75.
Fatty.
But that wasn't healthy. When you sat down, like it hurt my hips.
Wow.
When I got out of bed in the morning, everything ached. Like it was too skinny.
I feel like the only reason I would lose weight is for the competition. Like I don't take it seriously enough.
Should we do one of those then?
Lose weight? Or you guys don't need to lose weight. Seamus does a little.
I
but-
do, a little bit.
I got some. We should think of another competition though, but I think for next time let's do reacts.
Yep.
And then let's all think of a competition to bring to the next one.
I tell you what, why don't we do, everyone brings their funniest thing. So I'll bring my Michael, the autism on the spectrum,
Yeah.
and we see which one's the funniest.
A funny clip.
A funny
Okay.
clip.
All right.
I think we should bring in the rest of the family to react to whatever we bring.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's do the whole family watching the same clip, and then they can judge our 3 contributions.
Yeah.
Deal.
Yeah?
Cool.
Challenge time.
All right.
like
So
it.
that'll be the next one.
Great. Short
GG.
podcast. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Seamus, I hope you watch this one. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, buy the merch.
Can't believe
Sign
you
up for
didn't
the
watch
mailer.
last one.
It's very important.
Yes. It is.
Traitor.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Bye.